In today's video introduction to Microsoft Copilot, we will first compare Microsoft Copilot and ChatGPT, two AI tools that are very popular. Then I will show you how to prompt, so how to ask questions to the chatbot in order to get the best results. Then I will go through some use cases, including how to write pro emails with Copilot and much more. Then we'll dive into Copilot in Excel and I will show you the best use case to make your spreadsheet analysis a real breeze. Quickly, I'll show you what you can do with Copilot in PowerPoint. And without further ado, let's dive deep into it. I am David Fortin, a Microsoft MVP, and welcome to this video. So first, I think the most important thing that we need to clarify is what is a Copilot. I keep hearing Copilot. Yes, it's someone in the plane that is on the driver's seat or something, right? But that's not what we mean today, okay? That's not what we mean. What is a Copilot? So for Microsoft, a Copilot is anything that has AI into it, So in their products, like Microsoft have Planner, Microsoft Whiteboard, Microsoft Power BI. So all of these tools, they have Copilot integrated into them, and it's basically AI that is going to assist you in these tools. But today though, we are going, oh yeah, there we go. So we have also Copilot for sales, Copilot for service, Copilot for finance, which is actually how I like to say that it's a specialist. So it's a LLM, large language model, a dictionary, I like to say it like that has been trained for specific tasks. By instance, for finance, it's a LLM, large language model, that was trained to do finance. But today, though, we're going to talk Microsoft Copilot. And Microsoft Copilot is represented by this symbol here, this multicolor symbol, and it is actually a generalist. Let's say it like that. You can give him multiple hats. So if you say to Copilot, you are a marketing expert, then it's going to think as a marketing expert, right? If you say you are a doctor, I'm injured, what do I do? You just call an ambulance and you go to the hospital, okay? You don't ask Copilot. Anyway, just kidding. Copilot has multiple hats, multiple specialty, if we can say it like that. And this is the beauty of artificial intelligence, right? So it's trying to predict the human behavior, and then you ask the robot with a question, right? So I'm doing the explanation really fast here, but today we're going to talk Microsoft Copilot. So we're not going to talk about Copilot for finance or Copilot for services. We're going to talk Microsoft Copilot and Microsoft Copilot 365, basically, okay? So stay with me here. There's a lot of information in this presentation. It's going to bring you a lot of value. Hopefully it's going to get clearer for you what Copilot is and what it can do, and we're going to dive into the use cases really soon. All right, so first, this is really important because I give trainings on ChatGPT and Copilot in businesses, and a lot of companies, they are banning ChatGPT right now. Not sure why, but I'll try to get to this, okay? So ChatGPT has been around for a few times now. If you've never heard of ChatGPT, just go on your web browser right now, chatgpt.com, you will get there. It's a really well-known company by now, which was founded by Elon Musk, co-founded by Elon Musk. It's called OpenAI, right? And these two tools are really similar, and sometimes people tell me, but why don't I go with ChatGPT for my business? Or why should I go with Copilot for my business? So this is what I'm going to try to answer here in the most simplified language possible and with my beautiful French-Canadian accent, right? So first to the left here, we have Microsoft Copilot, which was founded by Microsoft, a very little known company, right? So it is the chatbot. So it is a chatbot, a chat tool, an AI tool, call it whatever you want, it doesn't matter. Copilot.microsoft.com, you will get on the tool here, right? And these models here, or these AI tools, they work with a large language model. And what I like to tell people is that a large language model is actually a dictionary or a magic book. So it's basically a database that was actually pre-trained. So in GPT, which is the name of the model, and that was actually developed by ChatGPT. GPT stands for generative, for AI generative, generative AI, generative, pre-trained, transformer. So pre-trained, it was trained with some information, and when you write a question, it's transforming this information. generative, pre-trained, transformer. That's pretty important. And then these dictionary, or these magic book as I call, are like dictionaries. So if you have a dictionary from 1992, then it is an older model. And then when you have a new dictionary from 2024, it's a newer model with more information into it. It was trained accordingly to the feedback that it was received. And this is basically how it works. I love to compare this as a car engine. And you know, like the Copilot in ChatGPT now is actually the car body that is put on top of it. And now it is actually the same for both of them. In the past, if you have experienced different results from both, it's because the tool, actually the engine, was different for ChatGPT and Copilot. But as we go, Copilot updates their engine to match ChatGPT engine, right? So that's basically it. That's how I want you to see it. Think about Copilot or ChatGPT as a little Albert Einstein, which you ask question to him and he goes into his magic book and actually have a look at his database and gives you back an answer. He transforms your answer and then he gives you back an answer, right? Quick thing here. Can it search the web? The question is yes. Using Microsoft Bing, Microsoft Copilot, and ChatGPT can actually search the web. That wasn't the case for ChatGPT before, but now they are actually on par with this, okay? But there is a difference, and this is why some companies are actually banning ChatGPT here, and most companies are trusting Microsoft Copilot, right? So when you go to copilot.microsoft.com, what is the promise of Microsoft is that your data is secure, right? So when you go to copilot.microsoft.com, you actually have a little shield in the corner of your chatbot that says that it's protected by enterprise data protection, right? This is not the case for ChatGPT. And you know, lots of companies, they trust ChatGPT. We have Morgan Stanley, we have PwC, we have Moderna, we have Datadog, we have Square. A lot of big companies, they also trust ChatGPT, or OpenAI, I should say. So it doesn't mean that ChatGPT isn't secured. They have a huge security portal for customers on their website. I invite you to have a look at that and talk to your IT policies or IT department before making a choice. But today we're talking about Microsoft Copilot, and the Microsoft security is actually the promise of Microsoft. They say, hey, you have your stuff in SharePoint and everything. It's the same for Copilot, and we won't use your data to train the model. You know, a large language model here, how it works is that it's getting fed from your feedback, and Microsoft promises like it's not going to feed the foundation large language model, right? So I'll get to this a little bit later, maybe in this presentation. I think that's the main difference, right? You're already in your Microsoft environment, you trust the company already. So I think that's the main thing. And then the main difference number two is actually that it is integrated in your 365 apps. And this is what I want to actually show you here. This is the real difference, okay, between ChatGPT and Copilot, is that Microsoft Copilot is integrated when you pay for it. Like there's a business license. I'll get back to the licenses in a few seconds. It is really where it unlocks the potential of Microsoft Copilot. So you have the Microsoft Graph. So I will go real quick on this presentation here, but this red square means that Copilot, so the large language model, the AI actually has access to your internal documents. So it's doing a link between the dictionary I told you and your contacts, your SharePoint documents, your files, your meetings in Teams, your calendar information, and all of this. So that's the real difference between ChatGPT. ChatGPT can't tell you when you have a next meeting with your boss. Copilot can. And they use the same model underlying, but this is the main difference between Copilot and actually ChatGPT. Now, I want to show you something. When you pay for Copilot, you have this at the top. So you go to copilot.microsoft.com and you have this work or web button, right? If you don't pay for Copilot and you have a personal version, your interface might look like that. And as you can see, you don't have the work or web button to search into your internal organization documents, right? So I'll get back to the licensing real quick. Here we go. So that's really important to understand. I have a lot of people that tells me, hey, but I have Copilot. It's by default on my computer. No, you don't, okay? No, you don't. And let me explain here. I'm going to take some times, okay? So it took me a while to understand that. So to the left here, you have Copilot, the free version. All of this is for individuals, and we'll not concentrate on that today, but I want to give you some information about that. So if you go to copilot.microsoft.com and you're an individual with an MSN email, Hotmail, or whatever, you're going to land on the AI tool, which is really similar to ChatGPT. You see here, you can ask questions. Hey, can you write a poem for me? Hey, can you write an email for me? Hey, I need to do a recipe this weekend. You know, and that's what you can do, right? So this is free for everyone. And that's it. It's basically the same as ChatGPT with some differences, but like it's really similar. Then you have the Copilot Pro here, which is also for individuals. So if you pay 20 bucks a month, then you're going to be able to unlock Copilot in Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote, right? So I'll just show you real quick what it does. You know, you see at the top here, this is actually my PowerPoint. I click on Copilot, and this is the Pro version, right? So it unlocks a button here at the top of all your files that your tool that I just mentioned. So Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, Outlook, and Word, right? So this is when you pay for the Pro version as an individual. I don't know if we care, maybe it's for solopreneur or stuff like that, but where we really care is Copilot for business here at the right, okay? So if you have a business license, right? If you have a business license, not a license, sorry, an email. If you have a business email and you log into copilot.microsoft.com with your business email, it's gonna look like that, except that you won't have these two tabs at the top, right? These two things to switch between the work, which is the Microsoft Graph that I just talked about, and the web, right? So this is the main difference. If you don't pay, you won't see that, right? This is really important. This is really important, but it also gives you the enterprise grade data protection. So if you don't pay, but you want to actually put confidential information into your Copilot, make sure you have the little shield at the top, you know, that says enterprise grade data protection. You'll be able to put your confidential information. So that's maybe the first difference with ChatGPT. But just to let you know, Copilot, so this is free. The Copilot for Business is free here. But where it's really important is the Microsoft 365 Copilot, right? So this is on top of your Microsoft 365 license. So if you pay for E3 or E5, this is on top. You'll need to pay something more. And it is $30 per user per month at the time of recording this video. And it's billed annually. So you can't only take it for 2 months, you have to take it for 30 times 12 per user. There's no minimum limit. Before, when it first released, there was a minimum of 300 seats. So it will make it like 9,000 a month, if I'm not mistaken, for minimum 300 seats. But now if you have a company of 6 people and you want Microsoft 365 Copilot, then you can do it. And what's the real difference? So what's the real difference? So basically you will have Copilot in the 365 apps, such as Word, Outlook, Excel. We'll get to this later. I'll show you some examples of what it can do. You have Copilot in Teams to summarize your meetings, make transcripts. It's pretty amazing, by the way. And then, of course, you have your Microsoft Graph grounding. So this is what I was telling here, which it unlocks Copilot between your work and the LLM, the AI model. So this is the Microsoft Graph grounding that I was talking about. Actually, you can do some research in your company's documents, in your calendar, in your Outlook, asking the AI, hey, when is my next meeting? Or hey, can you find the last 5 emails from this or this client? And I'll show you this a little bit later, all right? And of course, enterprise grade data protection, which you don't have with the individual version. So for confidentiality issues, I really see people go really often with Microsoft Copilot for 365. Now we are in the section that I'm going to show you a little bit how to prompt, actually how to ask question to the AI. So what is a prompt? A prompt is this. So I'm in Copilot right now. As you can see, I checked the web version, and the little shield, green shield that I talked about, which is the enterprise grade data protection, is right here at the top, right? So I'm telling Copilot, hello, I am a prompt. So a prompt is just a question that you ask to the AI. That being said, super easy. And now I'm going to show you something, right? I'm going to go into the AI model. I'm going to go to copilot.microsoft.com and see here I am in the web page. That's what I'm going to use for this example. And I will ask Copilot, can you give me the 10 best Excel functions, right? Super basic prompt, probably the worst prompt ever. And actually Copilot is going crazy. You see how fast that was? That is the power of AI. If you have not been using AI so far, you can go ahead. So here you go. I'm in copilot.microsoft.com. I use the paid version, but as I told you, if you don't pay, it's going to be the same for you. You're going to have the web version. You just don't have those two toggles at the top. So here we go. Copilot told me sum, average, VLOOKUP, and stuff like that. For the rest of this presentation though, I have prepared some stuff, and with AI being so unpredictable, it will be easier for me to just follow my PowerPoint here. So I wanted to show you this prompt here that I did in copilot.microsoft.com, and here we go. The results were actually pretty similar from this previous prompt I did a while ago and the one I just showed you. And I want to tell you why this is a really bad prompt, right? This is a really bad prompt because I am experimented with Excel and I know what a sum is. And for me, this is not the best function, right? But what if I will tell you how to do a better prompt, right? So a better question I can ask to Copilot. So here we go. I did a prompt for you and I want to show you how that you could shape your next prompt. So first, I gave this to Copilot. Could you give me the best 10 Excel functions and formulas for an accountant? So I gave it the goal, right? I gave him what I wanted from him. And then I gave him some context. I work in a video games company. I am a junior accountant and I am a beginner to intermediate in Excel. And then I give him more context. Most of my tasks are to reconcile data, merge lists together, perform budget versus actuals analysis, make forecasts, and also analyze financial statements. And the results of Copilot were pretty different. In the first example, Copilot didn't give me this formula right here, the sum if with an S, the sum ifs, and then it also gave me index match. So my point with all of that here is give context to Copilot because it's going to actually tailor its answer to actually best fit your needs. So you're just gonna have better results and you're gonna waste less time actually prompting even more. So take some time to craft your prompts accordingly, right? Even there, we got pivot tables that Copilot gave me and actually even more stuff here that it didn't give me the first time. So I'll let you try, it's pretty cool. All right, so I made this cheat sheet here that is absolutely free, so you actually remember the formula for this. And how I like to remember that is the goal, context, expectation, source. It is on the Microsoft website, and I love to switch these two at the end and say get crazy sexy era, because this is a sexy era that we're in, or just switch those two at the end. Get crazy era is sexy or something like that. You can scan the QR code on this page. It's going to get you to the downloadable landing page, and then I'm going to bombard you with a lot of marketing emails for the next 3 weeks. I'm actually kidding, but this is absolutely free. You can unsubscribe to my emails after that. I don't care. But there we go. So you have the goal. So what do you want from Copilot? So as I told you earlier, treat Copilot like your magic book where you can ask for anything. Or almost anything, right? Give me money, I want to get rich. You can't do that. And then the context. Why do you need it and who's involved? So this will help Copilot tailor its response to your specific audience. Then in the pink here, we have the expectation. So how should Copilot respond to best fit your request? And don't hesitate to change the tone, ask for a humorous one, or add emojis to your answer. And I swear, Copilot, though, the jokes of Copilot are like the worst in the world. Okay, so I don't know who's doing that at Microsoft, but maybe he needs to get fired. I'm kidding. All right. So the source. So actually, this is when you're looking into your internal documents. You probably want to ask Copilot which information you want to look through. So here is a full prompt. By instance, I need a 5 bullet point recap of all my emails related to the Brown Sox product launch. I need this information to prepare for an upcoming meeting with tons of non-boring accountants and to gather all key communications relevant to this project. Make sure you keep a professional tone, as this is for a serious meeting, and focus on my email inbox, specifically emails on and after September 1st, 2024, right? So this is when you look internally in your emails. I also made this cheat sheet here, so we're summarizing how to prompt, so the same thing. So basically the first quarter of this cheat sheet is actually this cheat sheet at the left, but with less details. And then I have put here the do's and don'ts, so of course the right prompt ingredient, be clear and specific, treat it like a conversation, and also you can give examples. You can also use the punctuation, decent grammar. So behind the scenes, what AI is doing, it is actually transforming your text into token, and it is actually calculating the probability of the next word. So it is a forecast machine for the next word. So this is why you should write decently, right? Use punctuation, use grammar. Also check for accuracy. AI can do mistakes. You will experiment it. I'm not even worried about that. And in other words, talk to Copilot like it was your mom. So be polite, behave. It's a conversation. And yeah, basically, okay? So I'll go really quick on these. I have put Microsoft 365 apps use cases. We'll see some in this presentation here. And again, you can scan this cheat sheet here. It's absolutely free. It's downloadable. Take your phone and download it right now. I have a video as well, ChatGPT versus Copilot, where I go over the security and everything on my YouTube channel. So feel free to watch this, of course. All right, so this is an example of my personal stuff here. So we are in Copilot. So I asked Copilot to search for emails. So you know how painful it is to search for emails in Outlook, right? It is actually unbelievable how hard it is. And Copilot is there to help you so you can actually give some context, right? So we are from an era where Google search is like 3 words to now like where you can actually write a whole book and give context to the AI so you can tell him where to go, which path do you want him to go, right? So I am in copilot.microsoft.com here, the business version, so Copilot for 365 that you need to pay $30 a month, okay? And I clicked on the work tab and I actually made a prompt going with the goal, context, expectation, source formula that I just showed you, the perfect prompt formula. So here we go. I need a 5 bullet point recap of all my emails related to Zebra BI. I need this information to prepare for an upcoming meeting with tons of non-boring accountant and to gather all key communication relevant to this project. Make sure to keep a professional tone as this is for a serious meeting. Focus on my emails inbox, specifically the emails on and after October 1st, 2024. And I tell you right now, I only have 1 emails. And if I click on the little 1 here, it's going to bring me in my Outlook directly on the email. This is wonderful. If you change the date, in my case, I only had 1 email. If I changed it to September 1st, it gave me 5 emails from Zebra BI, which is a company I work with, okay? So this is an example of using Copilot to search in your emails. Again, you will need Copilot for 365, okay? All right, so let's dive into the use cases already. So this is just a thumbnail. We're not going to do that right now. Oh yes, we are. QR codes on the next slides. Oh my God, this one is a little bit blurred, but QR codes on the next slides. If you didn't have time to scan for the cheat sheet, I've put them over the 5 next slides so you can make sure to download the cheat sheets. All right, so this is the use case of how to write an email with Copilot. So in this case, we could be in both the work tab or the web tab, or even if you have the individual version, this could actually work for you, taking into account there's nothing like confidential, you don't really care. So we have a situation here, and we're gonna ask the goal here. Hello Copilot, can you help me draft an email? And then we have the context here. The email should be a draft to send to Mr. Musk. He is a client who has placed an order, and I would like you to help me thank him for his order. And then we have the expectation. Remember, goal, context, expectation, source. Expectation, I expect you to write a very professional email because Mr. Musk has made a complaint before. You see how much context we give, and this is going to impact how Copilot will answer to us, right? And we don't need source in this case because we don't need source, right? We don't want it to look in our emails or whatever, right? So here we go. After a few seconds, Copilot actually drafted this for me. It says, certainly, here's a professional draft for your email to Mr. Musk. And then subject, thank you for your order. Dear Mr. Musk, I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing you to express our sincere gratitude for your recent order with us. We understand and see the complaint. We understand that you have had concerns in the past, and I want to reassure you that we have taken every steps, blah, 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 right? So this is kind of crazy. I put the full name at the bottom, the position, the company. So we can just go ahead, copy, paste, change it a little bit. Please change it. Make sure you don't copy, paste this first portion here. Certainly here's, be careful, review your stuff with AI, right? So that was write an email use case. This is actually from one of my video on my YouTube channel. So feel free to have a look at the full prompt and everything, right? All right. So I am a solopreneur. I actually create videos, right? I make videos for clients. That's one thing I do, and on top of giving Copilot and Excel trainings. So I asked Copilot here, could you help me draft a contract? That's the goal. And then I said, I am a content creator and I build videos for companies. I'd like if you could write me a contract for my business. My business is located at 444 Flower Street in Quebec City. I'm David Fortin and my client is located in Vancouver. His business is called Oh My God, AI Will Steal My Job. And the contract object is the creation of 4 videos themed on Microsoft Copilot and Excel training. Can you make sure the contract covered the basics, clauses such as deliverables, users' rights, and payment terms? I'll review the rest, right? And in a matter of seconds, it gives me this, right? It gives me a good draft of a contract. Of course, maybe it will not stand in Supreme Court, right? I want you to be careful when using AI to do that kind of things. But on my side, being a solopreneur, I don't need to pay a lawyer $400 an hour, sorry. And this can be a solid draft. I can even just send it to my lawyer and then, he's going to charge me 100 instead of 400 is going to review the thing, right? So that's pretty cool. We can see it put like the, oh my God, AI will steal my job client. It put the deliverables here, etc. It says, at number 9 here, the government law is in province of Quebec because I'm French Canadian, So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I use this all the time. Let me repeat, I use this all the time, okay? It saves me so much time. But you know what? I didn't like the first contract. It didn't have enough details. So I said, could you add way more to it so I'm sure I'm protected? And as you can see, with the red boxes, it added ownership, usage rights, credit. It even added the fees there, the payment schedule. So it actually put sub-bullet points like 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. And it's actually crazy what it actually built, right? So that was another use case. Super, super interesting. All right, section 4 already. Oh my God, this is going fast. All right, so Copilot in Excel, guys. And if you have tested Copilot in Excel back in November of 2023, I tell you, you want to be very, very attentive right now because it's going really nice. It's evolving pretty fast. That's what I mean, okay? So that was actually one of my videos that I did. So we are going to go in the Piggy Beans Cafe, party people. The Piggy Beans Cafe is actually the best cafe here in Canada. I'm kidding, this is made up, but basically this is my use case that I use every time, the Piggy Bean Cafe. And it is to actually show you the data. So the data we're using is sales data in this case. And the first use case we can do with Copilot in Excel, this is actually the pro version, by the way, because if you don't pay, you don't get the little button at the top of Copilot in Excel, okay? So I'm going to show you how to use Copilot in Excel for text functions. So this is the Piggy Beans Cafe, as I told you. So we have sales data here. We have a salesperson, we have their region, and we have much more data. We don't see the whole thing here, but we want to extract the phone number. So by instance, we have a lot of salesperson, and we want to determine where they live. So 514, by instance, is Canada or Montreal, and 418 is actually United States, Nevada, Las Vegas, whatever, right? So we want to split it, and we want to have those 3 digits that are at the left in a different column, and we don't know how to do that because we don't know much Excel. So we start typing, but we have 200,000 lines, so we can't do that, right? So we're gonna ask Copilot. Why not? It's there to help us, right? So basically what we are asking Copilot here, I have the prompt at the top. I just ask, just like I told you earlier, right? Could you create a column with the regional area code of each phone number? It corresponds to the 3 numbers to the left of the column phone number. And then I just clicked enter, and Copilot actually gave me the right formula to do that. I click on insert column, and then this is the results right here. It actually created a column, the area code column, and then boom, it actually gave me the first 3 digits of my phone number column. Pretty cool, hey? All right, another example with Copilot in Excel, it's a Copilot in Excel function. I actually just released a long form video. It's 17 minutes of how to actually build function with Copilot. So I know formulas and function, I should say, is really complicated for a lot of people, and I understand it is really complex. You don't do them very often, and then you need AI to help you, and that's perfectly normal, right? So here we go. So I have data set that I showed you earlier, and we want to actually split the columns. So actually we want a new column that will say downtown, which is a region, over 500 when the sales are over 500, and if the region is downtown, there we go. And if it's uptown, excuse me, over 800, if the sales is region uptown over 800, right? I feel like I really badly explained that, but I'll show you here. So that's what we ask Copilot. So it's doing a formula. If the sales amount is above 500 and the region is downtown, I want you to return downtown over 500. So it's basically did a nested if and formula in Excel. And here we go, Copilot actually added this column for me, so I can go ahead and filter on these things, because that was my boss that asked me a question. Hey, can you give me which salesperson sold more than $500 in the downtown region, by instance? And that's what Copilot can do in Excel. It is pretty powerful. All right, so let's do a quick presentation of what Copilot in PowerPoint can do. Actually, I'm going to actually show you what it can do. I'm going to do a live demo, so please pray the AI, Lords, please, please, please. So what I'm going to show you here is actually, I'm going to open a new presentation, here we go, blank presentation, and I'm going to click at the top here on the Copilot button. And you know, like, this is not perfect, but that works pretty well. So I will just click here on the second one, right? Create a presentation about the importance of artificial intelligence in 2024, okay? And I will keep it really, really, really simple. You know, it was super basic prompt. I didn't add much detail. So let's say I have a presentation on the importance of our artificial intelligence in 2024 in a few hours or a few seconds, let's say like that, a few minutes, and I don't have time to prepare a draft, right? So I ask Copilot this prompt right here, and it's actually loading, and boom, as you can see, I didn't fast forward, I didn't cut anything. Boom, the future of AI in 2024, and I have a presentation that is actually, how many slides it did? 18 slides on the topic, right? So we even have a section, as you can see here, we have a section on the ethical considerations in AI. It made this section here, and it actually gave me a lot of ethical concern here, such as addressing algorithmic bias. I can't say that in English, and that is pretty cool. And let's say let's take this a little bit further, right? Let's say we want to enhance our presentation here. So I have the ethical considerations in AI, and damn, it's a blank slide. That's bad. Okay, let's make an image with Copilot. I'm going to copilot.microsoft.com. I'm going on the web, and I'll be create an image about ethical consideration with AI, right? Simple prompt, Copilot is going, it says, I'll try to create that, and boom, it's loading using, oh, there we go. Content wasn't generated because your prompt includes wording that may be in violation with the designer code. Okay, I'll just say, create an image about an artificial intelligence robot, right? So maybe because we have the word ethical here, so Copilot is trained, we cannot do unethical stuff. I could have went and actually change my prompt a little bit, like, hey, it was not meant to be meaning unethical what I wanted to do and stuff like that, like it didn't mean to be mean. And then here we go, Copilot is going to create this image. There we go. So we have a robot here. I'm going to take that. I'm going just to download it real quick. And here we go. And I'm going to drag it into my PowerPoint. Boom. And then with the tool that is called Designer at the right, I can actually, boom, enhance my presentation. Pretty cool. I got in a full PowerPoint presentation that is actually built from scratch with Copilot in a second. Of course, it is a draft. You actually need to review everything and do your stuff, but still pretty interesting, right? This is the power of AI. All right, so I hope you had a great time for the introduction to Microsoft Copilot. And if you want to learn more, I have many videos on my YouTube channel. These are some of the videos available, and I will catch you soon in another video. Peace.